She's not known for pulling her punches. When she's inside Parliament, you know that she is there. She makes her presence felt. And of late, she has created quite a rustle, quite a sensation inside and outside Parliament. Joining us now is the irrepressible Renuka Chowdhury. Quite some time has passed, ma'am. If today I was to ask you the same question, कि मैम आपके खिलाफ एक privilege motion लाने की तैयारी हो रही है, आप क्या कहेंगे?
होने दो. Let them do it. ये हमेशा एक threat which they keep giving. I don't scare easy. So they want to move a privilege motion on a non-issue. Go ahead.
What prompted that response? Why did you say bhav bhav?
Because the concept of bringing a privilege for a non-issue like that doesn't deserve anything more. Isn't it? What was the issue? Oh my God, we are fighting pollution, we are fighting unemployment, we are fighting the hajar other important issues. We are going to discuss Vande Mataram. This government has suddenly woken up to understand and read the history of the country because they never participated in the freedom movement or anything. So suddenly you have these new priests of Vande Mataram coming and telling us hajar important issues. They want to move a privilege motion against Renuka Chowdhury because she saved a dog. So what does it deserve? Tell me. So when they kept saying, "Aap kya kahenge?" So I said, "Bahu," because I thought that was appropriate.
Because now that is being quoted as an example. In fact, just today, the BJP alleged that right from you bringing a dog into Parliament or saying bhav bhav.
I didn't bring it into Parliament. It was in my car. Yeah.
To the opposition walking out, the Congress walking out during the debate on electoral reforms, to a member of Parliament of the TMC who stands accused of smoking an e-cigarette. Generally, this session has been marked by irresponsibility or a callousness on part of the opposition parties.
You don't think that the government has been irresponsible by reducing the working days of the winter session from 1 month to 15 days? Is that a sign of responsibility? Is that a sign of responsibility? In the last session, when we had such overwhelming issues like the attack in Kashmir and etc., the first day of the session, the Vice President resigns on an allegedly ill health. He was perfectly all right in the morning, right? And by evening, he's resigned and throws the whole system into helter-skelter. Do you think it's responsible for this government that they field issues like Vande Mataram? You allocate 10 hours for discussion of Vande Mataram? Yes. We are all patriots. We are very proud to discuss because it helps us educate this government who had no, as I said, participation in the freedom movement. So, but they will not allocate time to discuss Manipur. So let's not talk about responsibility and irresponsibility. Some guy smoking the e-cigarette, I don't know who it is. I don't know what happened. But I mean, talk to him and send him, he probably addicted or whatever, he needs help, whatever. I don't know what the issue is. But walking out on electoral reforms, yes. What has this government done about electoral reforms? What hypocrisy talking about electoral reforms in Parliament when they've done what they've done. They have assiduously moved step by step and eliminated any recourse in the elections. They eliminate the CJI. After that, they make it impossible. They protect the EC where you can't file a case.
CJI actually was never part of the entire process. When your government was in power,
there was a protocol
the CJI
and a procedure. So they bring in bureaucrats.
It's only the Prime Minister who used to appoint the CJI all of this time.
Yes, but then the idea was that we bring in a lot more transparency, right? And have
But that's what the government is saying, that now you've got the Prime Minister, a minister of his choosing, and the leader of opposition has a voice.
Seriously? Where we don't allow, you don't even call the leader of opposition to meet international leaders who've come into the country. You can't even showcase your own democracy. You don't show the opposition. My God, you don't show the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha leaders of opposition. And we have to be comforted that, yeah, we are allowed to be in the CJI, in the electoral choice of ECs. And then you eliminate, you on a hypocritical note, you say we can't show the footage of women standing in the queue because we respect our mothers and our sisters. Oh, give me a break. And then they say that the video footage should not be shown, so it will be removed, deleted. Removal of evidence, tampering with evidence.
But Ms. Chowdhury, when we're talking about parliamentary process and who is really damaging it right now, Manipur debate did happen. At that time also the Congress walked out. Then the debate happened yesterday where the Home Minister is answering questions. Again the Congress walked out.
No, Padmaja, there's one more thing. The Home Minister's questions in Parliament are eliminated after it's balloted, and it's actually the property of the House. Chairperson, I concede, he's just got into the chairper chap. But he's unable to convince us that why questions have been removed after balloting. And so if the government is going to give us inappropriate answers, inadequate answers, which are diversionary and diluting, and removing from the main issue, we have no other recourse other than to walk out. We walk out not because we want to, but we walk out to lay on the table our protest because we're not being allowed to talk. You're not allowed to ask, you're not allowed to complete a sentence, you can't get a subject onto the table. I mean, this is a bizarre way of proceeding. I'm sorry, but I think the government is hopelessly inadequate on how to run the House.
But while the House is in session, on the 15th, the leader of opposition is going off to Berlin. If you're saying that the running time of this session is not enough. But even for that running time, you're not participating, you're going away.
He's not going away or not participating. We have adequate strength in the Lok Sabha where there are absolutely competent people who are sitting there. The Congress is well represented in the Lok Sabha, as well as the INDIA bloc who we align with on many fronts. And we are capable of standing up and asking questions there. Now, half the time the Prime Minister is gallivanting abroad. He's probably I wonder how many mileage points he has on his own aircraft. And so he's busy gallivanting all over the world. And he's not there for the important issues when they need be. He doesn't even come to Parliament. Have you seen Prime Minister's Day Thursdays being answered in Parliament in the last 11 years? Have you seen the Prime Minister of India hold a free press conference and take questions and answer? I mean, it's quite admirable, the kind of choke job that they do, where he's not accountable. This is how he ran Gujarat. And this is how he runs the country. You have the Prime Minister of India who doesn't answer, and no law applies to him. So that's okay, that's acceptable. But if you don't allow our leaders to meet international visitors who come to the country, then we will go to meet. Who is Rahul Gandhi going? Is he going on a holiday? Not at all. He's meeting the Indian diaspora. He's working for the country, whether they like it or not, whether we are ruling or in the opposition. In fact, I believe that when we are in the opposition, our responsibility doubles. To reach out, to bring people back to the country, to be able to showcase what India is about and work cohesively.
Because a lot of analysts, we had 2 days where first Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, she spoke on the issue of Vande Mataram, and then Rahul Gandhi spoke on electoral reforms. Actually, people who've been covering the Congress for donkey's years, they are saying that Priyanka Gandhi grabbed the opportunity and she made a mark, whereas Rahul Gandhi did not make the kind of impression that he could have, that he frittered away the opportunity of really putting the government on the map.
This is all psychobabble. They may think that way, they're entitled to their opinions. Priyanka is very good, hands-on. She's spoken what she spoke on a different subject. Rahul spoke on a different subject. His style is different. This is oranges and apples that we are comparing. It doesn't work like that. Everyone speaks. There's a narrative that has to be told, and it will be told in different ways. And in some ways, I think our analysts we are so stereotypical that we expect a certain response and you want it to be that way and no other way. It doesn't happen. So different people address things differently. And I think each one stood their ground and raised what was imperative.
Who do you think is a better speaker?
I said apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. I don't think there's anyone better or worse. Nothing like that. I think everyone is entitled to speaking the way they do and get their points across the way they do.
But do you think that perhaps it's time to give Priyanka Gandhi a chance to lead the party?
She is leading the party on a different level. Who says she's not? Priyanka's holding fort on many fronts. She's our General Secretary. She's also in Parliament as a Member of Parliament from Wayanad, and she's holding fort in Kerala, and she overlooks a lot of issues in the country. So why do you feel that she's not? She's there.
You know, for somebody who is so eloquent, do you think that she's being given enough opportunities to speak up for the party whenever Parliament is in session or outside?
I don't think Priyanka's a pushover. Let's give her that due and respect. All women have that strength. And she's able to project herself the way she chooses to. And so if she's doing it and you appreciate her, thank you for the compliments, because I love it when women get compliments. And if she's doing it and she feels that she needs to be more visible or more involved, she'll do it. She's already done so much and continues to do so. So that's fine. They're not the only ones who have double-engine sarkars. Sometimes others also do it.
We have a double-engine party.
You can call it what you want.
Tell me this, inside Parliament, what is it like to be a woman parliamentarian? Because the sense also is that a lot of the barbs, you've said that you've been attacked earlier,
I'm not saying it was. It's not just me saying it. It's there as evidence on the records of Parliament.
You know, their argument, it was a light-hearted moment where the Prime Minister said कि हमने ऐसी हंसी रामायण में पिछली बार
I
सुनी थी.
haven't
It
seen
could be
Prime
anyone.
Minister having a sense of humor. He's not known for light-hearted anything. He's downright rude and speaks in a way that is denigrating to the status of woman, which is a punishable crime under the IPC and other sections. He has deliberately humiliated women, called someone a widow of someone, the Congress widow. It's saying he's forgotten his mother. What do you mean by widow? He's spoken that way. That term itself is not acceptable to me. All right, in this day and age. Then he spoke about somebody's so many crore girlfriend. And then he talks about how he reveres his mother. We are all mothers. We are all women. We are all somebody's daughters, somebody's grandmothers, somebody's sisters. How do you think that impacts our families when they talk like that? So in the same light-hearted way, I say he's my brother. So if I am what I am and he calls me, then he has the title of being my brother.
Because the word Shupnakha was actually never used. He said कि रामायण में हंसी सुनाई.
He's very familiar. So that's very familiar about Ramayana, and you know who took Sita also, na? So let's leave that chapter there safely for him, because otherwise he'll get hurt badly. So it could have been Sita, it could have been anyone. But what he said, and the more embarrassing thing about this government is the absurdity that you see adult men who are my age, older, the young lot of course have no choice. They have to sit there and bang on the tables and appreciate. Have you seen the conduct of the ruling party and the members? I mean, some are good friends and some I really like and appreciate, but most on an average are pathetic. I mean, look, they're like performing monkeys at India Gate. If you see, you know, those where they say nach batare, and then you jump ding, 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 and ding, ding, ding. So they stand up, everything is slapping and thumping on the tables. Why? I've never seen such servility and a lack of self-respect amongst adult members who sit there and conduct themselves like this. I mean, you've reached where you have. It's a tremendous privilege. We are one amongst a million in this country. There are 800 members of parliament on an average, come and go as the shift changes. And this is what they come to do. The Home Minister walks into Parliament while the chair is sitting in the chair and they're conducting a session and all the members stand. I've never heard of this protocol. We've had Prime Ministers before, we are going to have Prime Ministers after. But overall, there is a denigration of standards, a devaluation of systems, and a pathetic presentation of so-called collective responsibility by the government.
But is this specific to any one party? When Smriti Irani was a minister, union minister, she was subjected to plenty of barbs as well. Is this specific to a party, or generally women come in for a lot of gaslighting?
Yes, we come in for a lot of flack. We come in for a lot of challenges. But that's what we're fighting against, isn't it? And for some government which has brute majority in Parliament and dangling and humiliating us by saying we brought the bill for women, which will happen in the year dot and not in the current elections. It's insulting our intelligence to say that, hey, we brought the bill, so vote for us, but it's not going to happen now. How convenient. Really? Seriously? I mean, this kind of tokenism that they've done, some of the ministers there are tokens. And that's further humiliating women. To say that, oh, we've made so-and-so as this position and that position, because they have no public ground.
Which ministers are tokens?
They are. Some women are.
You're saying women in this Council of Ministers are only tokens?
No, some are there on merit. Some are just brought in to show off that, oh, we brought the women in. Really? Then we've seen this. We've all been there and done that. And we know it's not a grouse against just one government. It is something that we've been challenging. When I first came into Parliament, 1986 or 86, I think, we were pathetic 3-4%. And what is the great amount that we are today? 11-12. 11-12. Where's the funding for women who contest? Where is the provision to give women tickets and seats? It was Rajiv Gandhi who did that. Smiling, he signed and changed the horoscopes and everything of the women across the country at the grassroots level. Women who were being hit, beaten, denied their identities. Suddenly the mothers-in-law were chipping in and saying, don't worry, we'll look after the house, go and contest the Sarpanch elections. And there is an evolution that's happened at the grassroots level. And it hasn't come to Parliament.
But why? You have held that ministry yourself. Why could the Congress not bring in the women's reservation?
We didn't have the majority, please understand. But this government does. We tried. If you remember, the bill was attacked and almost physically torn.
By your allies, by
Yes,
the way.
and we had to stand there.
And very unsavory remarks were made about women with short hair as well.
Women with short hair, women who wear lipsticks, women who are whatever they say, all these brands and names and labels that we are given. At this point, it doesn't hurt me. I will continue to forge ahead, take it on our chin so that it facilitates the younger women who come in. Those two beautiful, glamorous youngsters who came into Parliament from Bengal were heckled because they wore trousers.
Nusrat Jahan and Mimi Chakravarti.
You mean to say we won't come of age? I mean, you know, this is how it is.
Ma'am, going back to that episode again, can you first tell us where is that dog? What happened to that
Oh,
dog?
it's right here. I can get her. She's very cute.
Okay.
She's very intelligent.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know the breed. I think she's part a Jack Russell Terrier, part something else, because her proportions are different.
All right.
But it doesn't stop her from being so intelligent, so cute and so affectionate. Oh,
So she's still with you?
Yeah, no one's come to claim. We've told everyone there.
Okay.
We spread the word saying anyone, because there was a little patta and a bell in her neck, which a lot of animal lovers are now doing that, putting collars on the dogs on the streets so that they're not taken away.
So what happened that day? Was she already adopted by you? Or did you find her?
She was on the street.
Okay.
There was an accident.
Okay.
There's a large island near Claridge's, and then there's a little triangular divider that comes up to just before Claridge's Gate. So we were on that curve heading to Parliament when a scooterist took a sudden right turn. I mean, we just managed to escape, and a car from behind came and hit him straight. It was a T crash, straight like that. And the chap fell, and a loud bang. And both obviously came to a full stop. Luckily, the chap was wearing a helmet. And I said, pull up in case they need help. That's something me or my daughters, we have never left a victim on the road and gone. We always stop to help. And I'm proud of my girls because they do that. I mean, it's quite a liability now. First they'll turn around and say, you've hit the guy, you know how it is. And sometimes the victims turn around and bite you also. So that's there. But we stopped and he was fine, and then they were arguing. And of course, good old Mera Bharat Mahan, 500 cars and 600 people and cycles and scooters and all start coming in. Entertainment. So then we saw this little creature whimpering and shivering in the cold and running between with its tail tucked. So I said, whose dog is that? For God's sake, pick it up, like, you know, it's going to come under the wheel of some vehicle. I was really scared. And so no one came forward, and we looked around, and I was getting late for Parliament. So I said, ek kaam karo, isko utha ke gaadi mein rakho. We'll go to Parliament, and when I get down, you come back, and then we'll set about finding. So that's what I did. I brought it. There was no time for me to come back home and leave it or anything. And it's not like I took it out of the car in Parliament. And so I came and I got off. And I told them, take it home. Ghar le jao and give it some milk, shilk, whatever. And we'll see what we can do about it.
No plans to take her again to Parliament?
I don't mind taking her. I think it's wonderful cuddling her and coming up to Parliament. Poor thing. What is she? Anyway, she's a superstar now.
You know, in that context, when you were asked a question that why did you get a pet inside Parliament, you said कि जो लोग अंदर बैठे हैं वो काटते हैं.
हाँ, because ये काटते नहीं हैं. It's a fact. You'll meet her.
But aren't you referring to your parliamentary colleagues as animals then?
No, I'm not. If the quote fits, then so be it. The kato is a word that has double innuendo. When we say it in Hindi, I said dasna bhi. I said जो डसते हैं काटते हैं वो अंदर बैठे हैं सरकार चलाते हैं. There are lots of people who do that. And doesn't the Parliament cut? It's cut the days of working. It's cut our speeches. It removes things from records. It eliminates questions after they become custody of the House. It's arbitrary running of Parliament. So what I said is actually factual.
If you're still standing by it, then you'll be accused of privilege, that you've called your fellow parliamentarians.
I haven't called. Are they running the government? Poor things. I don't think they're running the government. There are only few people running it. Maybe two at best. The rest are not running, they're just performing.
Okay. Still standing by your word?
Oh, yes. Yes. I don't think I said anything that merited that much attention and that many man-hours than, say, if you compare it to reforms and Manipur and such issues which are ongoing. Why aren't you discussing the Delhi blasts? Why don't we know why tons of RDX, I mean, it's frightening the quantities that have infiltrated and come into the country. And in different parts of the country, it's not just the north, it's happened in the south, it's happened in Gujarat. You've got tons of RTX coming in. These are explosive materials. You have drugs coming in by shiploads in Gujarat. What happened to all of those? Why is the public not aware? A lot of citizens are very conscious and they would come forward and would probably help us. If citizens network, believe me, there's no one more vigilant than the average Indian citizen. So if you put out and educate them and say, listen, look out for these and report this to a hotline and we will take it up and we'll investigate. What happened to our RAWs and information agencies and intelligence? I mean, these are the compelling issues. What happens to our Indians who are studying abroad and the rupee is fallen. Now, I don't know how much further it can go down. You know the impact of that on a middle class family who have taken loans to educate their children and send them abroad. They're struggling and gasping. Is it not significant that middle class and lower middle class income families collectively commit suicide because they have no other recourse?
So what would you say to people who are accusing you and other party members of bringing down the standards of Parliament?
Look, we'll all accuse each other. Okay? We'll score points for that day. Okay. After that, what? If we are bringing down standards, what happened to your standards? What standards have you established? I want to ask. It's so demeaning and so depressing that this is the kind of legacy we are going to give the youth who are looking. I think the youngsters are so smart now. Oh my God, we at their age were really dumbos. And they're so well informed, they're so intelligent, they're so participatory. I think social media has changed everything. But then you have a widow in Sindoor, a new bride which would evoke, fear and sympathy. And what do the trolls do? What did the government do about that? What did the government do about the Foreign Secretary and his daughter who had nothing to do with the issues? So you still, online lynching, I would call it. Where you have scarred that poor young girl and that poor widow. What did she do besides her whole life has turned upside down? And you allow the trolls to carry on. You're so helpless. But if some young innocent child, how teenagers are, someone in Kanyakumari has said something online, a derogatory statement about the Prime Minister, he's arrested. I mean, there's something disproportionate and which devalues us as human beings. If you have the intelligence systems and you have the online affordability to track a 15-year-old, 16-year-old teenager to whom we don't allow them to vote or drink or drive because you believe that the cerebral cortex is still being developed by that age and hence they really can't be held accountable for important decision making, then you'll arrest them. You won't counsel them. You won't tell them that, sweetheart, you're entitled under the Constitution, you have the freedom of speech, but maybe it is not the correct way. Here are the platforms where you can address, we understand your frustration. Nothing like that. Just throw them in and feel you're macho. We've got them. You haven't got tons of RDX coming in. Hello, your priorities.
Here's hoping that at least in the remaining part of Parliament that we have over the next few days, we will see all these substantive issues and then some being discussed. But on the specific topic of whether the dignity of Parliament is being eroded, I guess the jury is still out on that. You, for your part, are still standing by everything that you said and done so far.
Yes.
Ms. Renuka Chowdhury, thank you very much for speaking.
Thank you. Thank you.